Wait. Let it go live.
BAHASHAM, BAHASHAM, Rakakadash.
Peace and love, honor to the elders and apostles of great millstone that give us the truth and all the spirits. Occupation is sport throughout the four corners of the earth and sincerity. We are another week, and we're about to go into some prophecies, some current events that's happening that tie into the biblical scriptures, man. So right now in the news, you got all these different plays happening, which include the C-19. People thought it went away, but they bounced back and said, you got a new
We live. Yeah, we live.
So start back up.
Yeah, good. Go ahead.
So start with Matthew 24.
Yeah, Con. This is Matthew, St. Matthew's 24. I'm gonna start at verse 4. And Yahawashai answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. Verse 6. And ye shall hear of war, and you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
Yeah, wars and rumors of wars, man. That's what we see happening whenever you look at the current news. You got Lebanon going at it with Israel, Syria going at it with America, and all these different, different factions of these Islamic groups. You got Russia going at it with Ukraine. These things are wars and rumors of wars, man. China and Taiwan. You got all types of wars happening throughout the four corners of the earth, man. You got Pakistan going at it with India. Those are wars and rumors of wars.
So Revelations 11 and 14, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly.
Yeah, the third world war, man. They're coming quickly, man. The second one is past, and the third one coming quickly. Because World War II was what? Like over 70 years ago, man. So now we're in the times of World War III. And it's coming quickly because it's not going to be long and drawn out like the other wars, man. It's not going to take, 5, 6 years, because now you got something called thermonuclear weapons involved, man. You got something called preemptive strike, which is an enemy striking the enemy, a nation striking the enemy before they can get struck themselves, So this war that's going to happen is not going to be drawn out, man. It's going to be quickly,
June 27th. That's Putin pop off World War III.
Verse 6.
No, let me finish.
Basically, it says, it says Putin, this was June 27th, said Putin ally announces first city Russia will strike if World War III starts. But it's not. But we know that World War III will start. Like the brothers bringing out that wars and rumors of wars. The Lord is causing controversy through the Spirit to get this done.
Yep, that's right. Wars and rumors of wars, man. And they said a couple of weeks back that with just 4 missiles, 4 Satan tools, they could destroy all of America, man. Cripple it, man. You know, they kill over 200 million people. That's just 4 of them, man. The scripture says it's going to be 200 million of them, man. So what's about to happen to America, man, is going to be overkill, man. You know, the Lord has more arsenal more than necessary to destroy this place, man. You know? So that's going to be the third war, like the brother read, man. The third war coming quickly, man. It's not going to be drawn out. You know? You got something?
No, I was going to say that there's a term called MAD, or mutually assured destruction.
Yeah.
So once that first missile is fired, then America is going to fire a retaliatory strike, which the results is going to be destruction on both sides. Because we all know that America is going to be laid waste completely concerning the prophecy, but other nations as well is going to be crippled concerning the destruction. Matter of fact, the whole world is going to be that destruction.
Right.
This is Matthew 24, verse 6. Ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled.
Yeah, see that ye be not troubled. Get Isaiah 33:6. Yeah, we're not troubled here. Yeah, we're not troubled because we have the knowledge and we have the wisdom, so we understand what's happening, and we understand that these things are happening because it's biblical prophecy. You got all these people in the world, man. They panicking, going crazy. People committing suicide. Stocking up food, going crazy, man. Going bunkers. Because they don't have faith, man. They don't understand that these things are biblical prophecies, man. They trust in their weapons. They trust in their supplies that they have. They don't trust in YAHAWASHI, man. So they're unstable in mind, man. Go ahead, bro.
Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure.
Yeah, so wisdom and knowledge is the stability of our times, man. So we're stable in mind. We're not moved away, by these prophecies, man. Every time we see a prophecy, man, we rejoice, man, and praise YAHAWASHI, man. We're not panicking like, damn, fuck, what I'm gonna do? We already know what's next, man. That's what gives us confidence, man, because we know that it's coming up the Lord, man. When you understand that the Heavenly Father is in control of all things, and you put everything into his hand, it builds up your faith and confidence, man. To where, even though we don't have no supplies, no doomsday purpose, we don't got no bunkers, no nothing, but we trust in the Lord, man. Every time, we talk to these people in the world, we tell them about what's to come, they look at you like, man, so what are you gonna do? America's gonna be destroyed and these things are gonna happen, but you here. Well, guess what, man? We're gonna trust in the Lord, man. That's the faith that we have.
That's right. This is a precept. This is 1 Timothy 1:7. For Adawan Yahawah hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind.
Yeah, the power of a sound mind, man. He didn't give us the spirit of fear. Our mind is sound, man. It's sober. So it's not drunken, with the things of this world, man. We're not moved away with the things of this world. Sound mind, man. Because these people out there, man, when they hear about these prophecies, man, their mind get tinkled up. They fuck their head up, man. Because oh shit, World War III going crazy, man. Remember 2020 when World War III almost popped off, man? These people was going crazy, man. Making all these tweets and all these different social media posts, about World War III, how they, this is the end of the world. What we gonna do? Huh? No. When Soleimani got killed off, January 3rd, 2020, and that general and the Iranian general, he got killed off, man. These people was panicking, man. Yeah, the nuclear scientists.
Now, if I may say too, the only reason why these people are dismayed when they hear about the destruction of these prophecies is because they don't have that one thing that we have, which is hope. All right, we have hope and faith and belief that we will be saved from the coming destruction. We have hope and faith, and we wholeheartedly believe that when these things come to pass, our Heavenly Father and our power, YAHAWASHI, is going to protect us and preserve us from all manner of evil.
Yep.
And these people, they don't have hope in that. They don't have a trust or they don't have a rock or a something to lean upon, everything goes down. So they, in their mind, being the reprobates that they are, they're just gonna just die, man. Yeah, and die.
I got a piece of 2 Kings chapter 6, verse 16. And he answered, fear not, just straight to the point, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them.
Yeah, so those that be with us are more than those that be with them, man. You know, we're heavily, the enemy is heavily outnumbered, man. Esau is outnumbered by the angels, man. You know, the angels, they're literally everywhere right now, man. You know, even when you don't see them, they still up there, man. You know, they that are with us are more than those that be with them, man. The scripture say there's innumerable multitude of angels, man. So it's trillions and zillions and gazillions of angels that encamp around the elect, man. You know, so that's why, you know, we don't fear, you know, what Esau got going on, man. You know, because we understand that, you know, ultimately it's the Most High setting his ass up, and we know the angels is on our side, man. And there's no coincidence that the angels, you know, they always hovering over GMS camps, man. You know, there's no coincidence, man. It's not random. You know, brothers is look up into seeing chariots all the time, man. It's like almost every week, brothers is seeing chariots, man. You know, do you think that's a coincidence? You know, why is it, you know, no other camps are seeing chariots like brothers at GMS are seeing chariots, man? You know, because we're the ones doing the will of YAHAWASHI, man. You know? So those that are with us are more than those that be with them. That's the faith that we have, man. That's why brothers, you know, Lord's will with those men, you know, with the elect. That's why we're not going to fall for this agenda that this devil has, man. We're not going to fold into this RFID chip, you know, that he's trying to bring upon the world. You know, we're not going to bow to his agenda, man. You know, because we understand that the Heavenly Father is the one that's protecting and watching over us, man.
Verse 17, and Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw. And behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha.
Yeah, chariots of fire, man, which is the chariots, man, that the so-called UFOs, man. You know, so they were surrounded by chariots, man. You know, we have what Esau calls air support. You know, we have air support, we have space support, we have spiritual support. You know, the Heavenly Father is guarding his elect, man. Psalm 34:7, if anybody can get it. You know, it says how the Lord, he has his angels and camp around his elect. So you got it?
I got it.
All right, go ahead.
It's Isaiah 31:5. As birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem.
Yeah, as birds flying, man, because birds, they fly in formation. You know, so that's how the angels, that's how they operate, man. They're in order. You know, that's why they always, whenever you see, you know, different, you know, fleets, you know, they're always lined up in order, man. You know, so in formation. So as birds flying, so will the Lord defend Jerusalem. Go ahead.
Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it.
Yeah, passing over, he will preserve it, man. That's going to be the new Passover in the kingdom of heaven when the Heavenly Father sends his troops, his angels, to deliver the elect out of America, man. You know, that's what we're going to remember as the new Passover, man. Because the old Passover that happened in the time of Egypt, the Heavenly Father sent YAHAWASHI, you know, to deliver Israel from captivity, man. And this time he's going to send YAHAWASHI again. But this time YAHAWASHI is coming with the host of heaven, man. The multitude of angels, man. You know? So that was it?
Yeah, that was it.
All right, bet. So what's that?
This is Psalms 34:7. The angel of the Lord, YAHAWASHI Yahushua, encamp around about them that fear him and deliver them.
Yeah, so the angels, they encamp around those that fear the Lord, man. You know, you got the saying in the world, you know, going into guardian angels. Well, that's in the scriptures, man. They get that from the scriptures, man. You literally got angels right now, even though you don't see them, but they encamp around about us, man. You know, that's why we always see him, man, because the Lord, God already, you know, it says, open the eyes of the young man that he may see. So the Lord will open brothers' eyes so when brothers will see chariots, man. You know, the chariots that kept around the elect of the Most High, man. Hey, brother, you got something?
Oh, I got something.
You got something? No, you got something, right?
Okay, this is Deuteronomy 33:26. There is none like unto the power of Jeshurun, who rideth upon the heaven in thy help.
Yeah, who rideth upon the heaven in thy help, man. So the Lord, he rides. How did the Lord ride in the heavens, man? He don't just sit on the cloud, you know, stand on the cloud like Goku, man. You know, he actually got the angels, the chariots, you know, that he has that ride in the heavens, man. There is none. Read that again.
there is none like unto the power of
Yeah,
Jeshurun,
the power of Jeshurun represents Israel. Right?
who rideth upon the heaven in thy help.
Right up upon the heavens in our help. So the Lord, he has the angels set up to help us, man. To come for our protection, man. There's a scripture in Hebrews that says how angels, they're ministers unto the elect, man. Ministers unto those that are heirs of salvation. If I'm not mistaken, that's how it goes. So the angels, they're literally here to serve the elect, to serve and protect the elect. You have these cops, they got the saying, protect and serve. Well, hey, the angels, they do it on a spiritual level, man. They're protecting and serving the elect of YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. That's why the Lord said what? There's YAHAWASHI said there's none that can pluck them out of my hand. Talking about the elect. That was more.
It says, and in his excellency on the sky.
Yeah, the excellency of the Most High is on the skies, man. Whatever you see the chariots, man, that's the excellency of the Most High, man. That's why they're always doing all these wondrous things, man. Wondrous maneuvers, light shows. That's the excellency of the Heavenly Father, man. People attribute those to aliens, man. Ain't no fucking goddamn aliens, man. Hey, man, when the angels come, man, you people are gonna wish those were aliens, man. Those are the angels of the Heavenly Father, man. That's why they couldn't do the maneuvers that they could do. Stop at the drop of a dime. Travel at the speed of light. Travel over 1,000 G-forces, man. No material body can able to sustain that, man. That's how you know that those are spiritual beings in those chariots, man. You could you read Isaiah 31, right? Yeah. Where it says the chariots of the Egyptians.
I got something real quick.
Let him get that and then you get that.
This is Hebrews 1 and 13. The point is in 14. But to which of the angels said he at any time, sit on my right hand until I make thy enemies thy footstool?
Yeah, the Lord didn't say that to no other angels, man. He only said it to YAHAWASHI. But YAHAWASHI is the only begotten son of the Most High.
Are they not all ministering spirits sent forth to minister for them who shall be heirs of salvation?
Yeah, so they're ministering spirits sent forth to deliver those which are heirs unto salvation, man. So the angels, they're literally servants to brothers, man. They're not, slaves. It's not a bad thing. But the Most High set them up, to where they protect and serve brothers, man. That's why the scriptures go into the same book. It goes into don't be mindful not to entertain angels, strangers. For some have entertained angels unawares, man. So sometimes, you come across somebody, and spirit will tell you, man, this might be an angel, man, because conversation might be spiritual. The way they act might be spiritual. Like, man, ain't no way this is just a regular nigga, man. But hey, man, that might be a guardian angel, man. Every brother has a specific amount of angels that's surrounded, man. Psalms 91 says what? That the Lord is going to give his angels charge over you, to keep you in all your ways.
You got it right here, bro.
Go ahead, bro.
This is right here. This is Psalms. This is Psalms 37, verse 23. The steps of a good man are ordered. The steps of a good man are ordered by Yahawah. He delighteth in his way.
Yes, the steps of a good man are ordained of the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. That's why the scriptures say what? Man's goings are of the Lord. So whatever we do is of the Heavenly Father, man. The reason why we holler is because the Heavenly Father is sanctioned us to come out here, man. It was already pre-written, man, before we even born, man. Jeremiah 1:5 tells you that, man. Before you was formed in the belly, the Heavenly Father already knew you, and he sanctified you to be a prophet unto the nations, man. So
This is Proverbs 16:1. The preparations of the heart in man and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord Yahweh.
Yes, so the answer of the tongue, the preparations of the mind is of the Heavenly Father. So there's no such thing as free will. Whatever thoughts that come to your mind, whatever decisions you make, it comes from YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, man. You don't just wake up and just, oh, well, I'm going to choose to go to work. No, the Heavenly Father put that in your spirit, man. Or you just wake up and say, oh, well, I'm going to go out on the highways and just be a prophet. No, man, the Heavenly Father put that in your spirit, man. The preparations of the mind and the answer of the tongue is of the Heavenly Father, man. Because it's not us that speak, man. It's the Spirit of YAHAWASHI that speak to us, man. Hey, man, sometimes, man, you be on autopilot, man. You just, you brother speak at camp, man. And, sometimes you're not even thinking about what you say. You're thinking about it, but it's like you on like I said, you on autopilot, man. It's like your mouth, spirit take over, man. To where sometimes you go back home to watch the camp, you're like, damn, like I'm getting edified by myself. So that's the spirit, man. That's how the Lord, he takes over our minds, and he tells us what to say, man.
That's Isaiah 31:3. Now the Egyptians are men and not the Most High.
Yeah, the Egyptians, which represents Esau and his army, the so-called white men, the Egyptians are men and not the Most High, man. Esau is not God, Their horses is flesh. Go ahead.
It says, and their horses flesh and not spirit.
Yeah, their horses are flesh and not spirit, man. Their fighter jets, their tanks, their whatever weaponry that they have is flesh and not spirit, man. It's carnal. But the chariots, they're literally spiritual, man. They're literally vehicles, energetic vehicles, man. That they're made of pure energy, man. That's why they could go inside and out the sun. They could travel at the speed of light, because those are actual spirits, man. It's not, the chariots is not physical, man. Yeah, you can touch it. It is physical, but it's not physical like an earthly vehicle, man. Those are spiritual beings, man. That's why they could shapeshift. That's why whenever you see them, they look like a ball of fire, a ball of energy in the sky. They could change their size. They could go to other planets. They could go to other galaxies. Because they're not actually physical things, man. They're actually spiritual, man.
Yep. And you don't gotta put gasoline in a chariot.
Yep. Hey, man. What is it? Ezekiel.
It says, when the Lord Yahawah shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fail, and he that is hoping shall fail together.
Yeah, so
shall fall together.
God.
It says, now the Egyptians are men and not the Most High, and their horses flesh and not spirit. When the Lord Yahawah shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down.
Yeah, so he that helpeth shall fall, and that is hoping, he that is helped shall fall down. So you got all these different armies that's gonna come up against YAHAWASHI. All these different nations, they're gonna try to help Esau fight against YAHAWASHI, but they're gonna fall, man. You read 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, it tells you that Ezra, he saw nothing but dust, smell, and smoke when they came to fight against YAHAWASHI, man. When they came with all their armies, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down.
Yep. It says, and they all shall fail together.
Yeah, you're gonna fail together, man. So you got all these niggas in the army and the Air Force. They're gonna try to fight against YAHAWASHI, man. They're gonna get taken out, man. So get that in Ezekiel. Verse 20. No, it's the first chapter, right? Yeah. First chapter. 1 and 4. Matter of fact, read 4 and then jump to 12.
Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 4. And I looked and behold a whirlwind. I looked and behold a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire enfolding itself.
Yeah, so what did Ezekiel see? Man, he saw a chariot, man, a so-called UFO. The scholars, they call it Ezekiel's wheel. They even got different documentaries, depicting it, where they show that it's an actual so-called UFO, man. So a great cloud, because the chariots, they actually look like clouds. The scriptures say the Most High, he makes the clouds as chariots. And it says what? A fire enfolding itself. So it was a chariot that was huge, and it looked like a ball of big energy, man.
And a brightness was about it, and out of the mist thereof as the color of amber, out of the midst of the fire.
Chapter 12. Yeah, chapter 12.
Verse 12. And they went every one straight forward whither the Spirit was to go.
Yeah, they want everyone straight forward wherever the Spirit was to go. The angels, know, they could take off at the drop of a dime, man. You know, whatever they hey, man. The angel could be traveling east and stop at the drop of a dime and travel west, man. You know, travel north and go back where it came from, man. They don't gotta turn like these planes and, you know, be subject unto the laws of physics and, you know, all this technology that Esau got is subject unto the wind and, you know, hey, the angels, they just take off, man.
They went and they turned not when they went.
There you go. They turned out when they went. So they went straight forward, man. They don't got to turn. The technology the angels have is on a spiritual level, man. It's on a gigantic level, man. They don't got to turn and, you know, you see this fighter jets. They got a whole like a steering wheel to maneuver the jet, man. Hey, the angels, they maneuver the chariots with their minds, man. If they want to go there, they go right there. If they want to go over there, they go right over there, man. They don't got to make no aerodynamics maneuvers, man. You know, it's spiritual maneuvers that they make. Go ahead, bro. Keep going.
Verse 13, as for the likeness of the living creatures, their appearance was like burning coals of fire.
Burning coals of fire, because the angels, they have that all around them, man. You know?
And like the appearance of lamps, it went up and down among the living creatures, and the fire was bright, and out of the fire went forth lightning. Verse 14, and the living creatures ran and returned as the appearance of the flash of lightning.
Yeah, so they ran at the appearance of the flash of lightning, man, which is what? The speed of light. If you look at lightning, man, it travels at the speed of light, man. You see the lightning flash, and then a couple seconds later, you hear the thunder, man. That's how fast lightning is. So that's how the angels, they operate, man. They travel faster than the speed of light, you know? And Esau, they got all these different, what's it called, reports of the chariots over the years that's coming out. And they're going into how, you know, they'll see a chariot over here, and then they'll be 500 miles away in less than a second, man. It'll go 70 miles, 100 miles away, you know, in less than a second, man. You know, because they travel like lightning, man. So that's what the scriptures is going into, man. That they travel faster than the speed of light. You know, so that's the power of the angels, man. They don't gotta accelerate. You know, you drive your car, you know, you're at 20 miles an hour, then you get to 40, then you get to 50, then you get to 100. Well, the angels, they just take off at, you know, 10,000 miles an hour if they want to, man. You know?
If I may say something too, when you look at fighter jets, such as F-15 fighter jets, in order for them to do a turn, just like the brother mentioned, they have to be technomized. Or, you know, brothers mentioned aerodynamics, they actually have to travel a certain speed, stop, and then come all the way back around.
Yep.
The chariots, they don't have to do that. They can,
Yeah, right.
they're not under the what you call laws of physics, so-called
Right.
laws of physics.
Right.
Down there, they're not bound by the rules or the physical plane here on Earth.
Right.
Like a hummingbird.
Yeah, like a hummingbird, like the brother said, they hover. You know, they hover. And Esau's technology, every technology that he has, he creates them off. He copies the Most High's creation. A helicopter is off the dragonfly. You know, you got the you know, the plane. You know, it's made up of the bird. You know, all the technology this man has, he copies the Most High, man. You know, so if the Most High creates all these things, and this devil got to copy you. You know, how much more the technology of the angel, the Most High gave it to the angels, man. You know, it's not far-fetched that we say, oh, the so-called UFOs is the angels, man. You know, people want it to be aliens, but it's not aliens, man. It's the angels of the Heavenly Father, man. You know, how we bugging and we're saying, yo, those are spiritual beings, but you believe, you know, they're just little green men with big eyes, big head, small body, no rod, no nothing, just naked, just walking around, man. Like, come on, man. You know?
And they crashed. They made a mistake and crashed.
Oh, yeah,
Roswell.
Roswell. Yeah, that the angels crashed. Here it is, you can't shoot a chariot down, but a chariot just crashed, man. You know, what sense does that make, man? You know? Yeah, this man is bullshit, man. The reason why Esau comes out all these different reports is to try to control the narrative. You know, because even though, you know, they know all these people, you know, people will be interested in, you know, so-called UFOs and all that, so they try to control the narrative and say, well, you know what? One of them crashed, and we call the alien, we call it Area 51. You know, this was the alien and all that. Because people got questions. Like, you know, who are these people? Who are these beings in those chariots? So Esau got an answer with a false flag. Oh, Roswell. Oh, we call aliens. Oh, they was transporting the UFO, the flying saucer. That's how we got all this technology, man. Fuck out of here. Matter of fact, let me get this real quick.
Jeremiah 10:2. Thus saith the Lord, YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI. Learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them.
Yeah, so be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, man. So whenever we see chariots, we're not bugging out, oh my God, what is this? What is that? You know, you see all these chariot sightings, you know, these cats on camera and shit, they be going crazy. Somebody call 911. Where's the Air Force? You know, we already know, man. Those are the angels of the Most High, man. We give all praise to YAHAWASHI whenever we see it, man. You know? And sometimes, but we see him in public, people will look at us like, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? We give praise to the Lord, man. You don't understand, man. This is a heavenly force, man. That's what you don't understand, man. You know? We have hope. This is how hope people they actually get scared whenever they see the chariots, man. You know? You had this one Jake, one time he saw this chariot, he started recording it. He said, man, call 911. Y'all need to be shooting this shit right here. You know? Y'all need to be shooting this shit right here, bugging the fuck out, man. Not understanding that this is his kinfolk, man. The angels there, the Israelites kinfolk, man. The angels there here to protect and serve us, man.
That's why the scripture says, learn not the way of the heathen. You know? Learn not their foolishness, learn not their confusion. You know, like the brothers just elaborating on. That's why Jacob's so confused and in fear, you know, because they don't understand who our power is. They don't even understand who they are. You know, that's why the scriptures say, be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. You know, if they wasn't going, if Jacob wasn't lost in the way of the heathen, then they wouldn't be dismayed. They wouldn't be caught up in fear of the chariots, all right, of the angels, of our bedroom, right?
Real quick. This is Revelations 19, verse 10. And I fell at his feet, to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and thy brethren.
Yeah, so the angels said, I am your fellow servant and your brethren, man. You know, the angels, they literally related to us, man. The angels, they're the sons of God. It's like Israel, the son of the Most High, man. You know, the Lord said, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. You know, so we're literally angels trapped in bodies, man. The angels, they're our brothers, man. They're our kinfolk. The angels, they don't look, you know, like the so-called white man. You know, like, you know, they got these theories about the grays and all these different alien species. And no, man, the angels, they're so-called black men, man, with big beards and big afros, man. You know? So, I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren, man. You know? So the elect, they're related to the angels, man. The scriptures talk about the first fruits, how the first fruit created everything. The first fruits was amongst the angels when they made the heavens and the earth, man. When you read Genesis 1, it's going into let us make man in our image. You know, when they read about God, it's talking about the YAHAWAH, the powers, which is going into YAHAWASHI, the elect, and the rest of the angels that made the whole universe.
If I may say too, when you go into the first of Genesis 1 and 1, when you go into the word beginning, the word there is Ra'ash, which means summon, or council, or heading. So there was a council of powers of angels that went over the blueprints that was given to YAHAWASHI by the orders of the Most High. Because there were certain tasks that each member of the elect had to do. There were certain members that created the animals. There were certain members that formed the lands. There were certain members that formed the plants. All right. There was not, each brother had a specific task to do. That's right. And they all conglomerated together to see how this movie was going to play out. There were orders of the heaven.
That's right. That's right. So, man, Esau, the thing you actually fight the angels when they made everything that you had. The elements that make up your missiles, that make up your fighter jets, the angels made that. And you think you're going to go up against them? You know, you're a fool, man. You know? That's why they have this order in the military not to actually engage against the chariots. Because they know from their history that whenever they engage the chariots, they got decimated, man. They shot at the chariots, and what the chariots do, man. The chariots take their own bullets and their own missiles. They shoot it right back at them. Or they shoot a chariot, and the chariot is not even phased by it, man. They're just standing still, man. Just sitting up there in the heavens, man. Just encamping, man. You know? So Esau, man, is a fool, man. You know? Esau don't have no humility in his bone, man. Because if it was up to, you know, it was up to us, man, he'd be like, hey, man, Lord, you got it, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me just go into slavery. Lord, this, you know what I mean? But Esau actually thinks he could fight and win against YAHAWASHI, man. You know? That's a foolish mind, man. To think you can fight against your own maker. You know? That's why you're going to be decimated, man. YAHAWASHI ain't even going to have, that's why the scripture say he ain't even going to have to even lift up a finger, you know, to fight against you, man. He's gonna sit up under the chariot and just throw that laser beam and wipe your asses out, man. He don't need no help. Yahawashi, he don't even need the angels, man. You know, Yahawashi is the ultimate army himself, man. He made armies, man. You know, you can't fight against the Lord, man.
Just of the angels, because you said the angels are our brothers, which is true in some scriptures. But real quick on the color, back in Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 5, it says, also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures, and this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man, and every one, right, which is the ones of the angels, right, which they look like aliens, they resemble men. It said, and every one had 4 faces, and every one had 4 wings, and their feet's the point, and their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of calf's foot, which a calf's foot has the hoof, and it represents purity. And they sparkled like the color of burnished brass. So they had the appearance of the angels were had that burnished brass color. So it was a dark brown color, man. And they sparkled, so it had like a glow to it. That's right. You know. And who's that resemble? Yahawashi, right? In Revelations. And then also the men of God, man.
Right. Right. And it makes complete sense because, you know, according to Esau's science, they say what so-called black men, you know, which, you know, they go off, they say Africans is the first people were dark. You know, they actually you know, believe that, you know, the so-called white race came from black people. So if the first people were so-called black, so-called dark skinned, and when you read Genesis, it says, let us make men in our image, what color were those angels, man? You know, if you put 2 and 2 together, it's simple math. The angels are dark skinned. That's so-called black men. You know, how the fuck would the Most High make the angels to be lepers, man? You know, here it is, the angels is made the sun, and they getting burnt skin against by the sun. There's so-called white people getting burnt by the sun, man. That don't make no sense. The angels, they're so-called black men.
Even now, when you go into the account of leprosy is a curse. You know, like the Most High did to, I believe it was Moses' sister.
Yeah,
you know. So you know, why would the Lord, you know, give onto His peculiar nation of people that curse of leprosy? You know.
That's right. You get that?
Oh yeah. Just going back to the word dismayed, I just wanted to bring it out. It's sha'ah. Hebrew 81:59. It means to gaze about, and we're gonna gaze at them. We're gonna embrace them because, like the brother said, that's our brothers. But the people, the 2/3 of the heathens, they're gonna be bewildered. They're gonna be troubled because they don't understand. They listen to what Esau says and Esau's philosophies and lies, and then to back up also the point that you brought out, Ecclesiasticus Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. So he gonna say it's aliens. If Esau put it out there that eating shit was can cure C-19, guess what? You idiots will do it. You will believe anything this so-called white man says, but here it is. We are telling you what's to come before it happens through the scriptures, through the Holy Bible that the Christian church reads, so-called reads, and y'all don't want to hear what we say because we're niggas, you know. And we came out of darkness just like y'all, and we was once like y'all. Now because we're bringing out the scriptures, it doesn't matter. We're looked down upon. But if we had a so-called white man out here right now, guess what? There'll be at least 10 people out here. Whoa, that's interesting. What was that? Sirach? Come on, man.
Yep. Right, man.
So Zechariah chapter 9, verse 14. And the Lord Yahweh shall be seen over them, and his arrows shall go forth as the lightning.
Yeah, so the Lord, they're going to be seen over as the elect. You know? By the way of what? The angels, the chariots. The chariots is what's going to deliver the elect, man. You know, it says the chariots is going to go forth as lightning. The arrows is going into the nuclear missiles, man. They're going to go off swiftly, man. That's why it says in the hour shall this be destroyed. You know? shit in 5 minutes. Imagine you get the call like, oh, you have 5 minutes to get to your nearest bunker. What the fuck are you gonna do? You don't matter, just accept your fate, just die, just drop dead. No? Go ahead, bro.
It says, and the Lord power shall blow the trumpet and shall go with whirlwinds of the south.
Yeah, the Lord shall blow the trumpet, because when Yahawashi comes back, there's actually going to be a war trumpet. When you watch ancient movies, whenever an army's about to go to war, they have that loud trumpet. Or just so when Yahawashi comes back, it's going to be that loud trumpet, man. You know? You're going to hear that loud trumpet. It says what? It shall perform. You got to get
It says, and the Lord shall blow the trumpet and shall go with whirlwinds of the south.
Yeah, whirlwinds of the south, the other chariots, man. You know? So Yahawashi's coming with the innumerable multitude of angels, man. He literally, hey, man, you got to try to understand it, man. The scriptures tell you about the angels being innumerable. You know, when you go to Daniel, it says thousands and tens of thousands and thousands. When you do the math, which is a number that Daniel tried to picture, it's in the trillions, man. I try to do it in a calculator. The phone didn't even have space to count the zeros, man. So imagine Yahawashi putting up with all the hosts of heaven, man. Every inch of the sky is going to be covered by chariots. We're talking about chariots the size of countries, chariots the size of cities, chariots, football fields, you know, different size chariots, man. People won't be bugging the fuck out, man. That's why it says man's also going to fail them for fear, man. They're going to look up and just drop the fuck dead, man. Go ahead, bro.
Psalm 68, verse 17. The chariots of the Most High, are 20,000, even thousands of angels.
Yeah, so 20,000, even thousands of angels. So you do 20,000 times 1,000, that's 20 million. You know, that's 20 million, man. This is a number that man trying to put in his mind, man. It's really, the angels, they're innumerable, man. You know, it's more than zillions and zillions of angels, man. So picture Yahawashi coming with all of them, man. They're going to flood the fucking earth, man. That's why people are going to buck the fuck out. You know? So, no. Finish it.
Psalm 68, verse 17. The chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is amongst them.
Yeah, Yahawashi is among them. Go ahead, bro.
As in Sinai.
As in Sinai, because when we got delivered out of Egypt, Yahawashi was in that chariot that delivered us out of Egypt, man. So the Lord Yahawashi is among them as he was in Sinai. So he was the one that delivered us from the first Egypt, and he'll be the one to deliver us from this new Egypt. Yeah, bro.
As in Sinai, in the holy place.
Right. Yahawashi, man, he's coming to get that glory, just like he got the glory on the Egyptians, man. You know? And you could ask the Egyptians, man, it wasn't nothing good that happened to him, man.
Psalm chapter 33, verse 8. Let all the earth fear the Lord. Let all the inhabitants of the world stand in awe of him.
And stand in awe of the Most High, man. Whenever you read these scriptures, man, you gotta be in awe of the Most High, man. So the scriptures you read, you gotta give praise to YAHAWASHI, man. And you see the works of the Most High, man. You see the chariots, how they maneuver. You watch certain chariot videos, man. You know, you stand in awe at the Lord, like, damn, man, the Lord is great, man. The Lord is far beyond, man. We watch certain chariot videos, man. Chariots goes inside the sun and come out the other side, man. That's mind-boggling, man. How the fuck can you explain that? A chariot go inside the sun, come out the other side. How the fuck do you explain that, man? You know, that if it was actual physical material, it would be destroyed. And that's how you know the angels, the chariots, they're actually spirits, man. They're actual energy. They're made of energy. Because if it was actual metal that you saw, got little iron, little steel, it'll melt before it even reaches the sun. So that's how you know those are angelic beings, man. You know? Got more?
So Mark 14, and I'm gonna start at verse 61. But he held his peace and answered nothing. Again, the high priest asked him and said unto him, Art thou the anointed, the son of the blessed? And Yahawashi said, I am. And ye shall see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power and coming in the clouds of heaven.
Woo! Coming in the clouds of heaven, man. The chariots, man. You know, they're big ships, man. Yahawashi's coming with big ships. Man, this is the Son of the Most High, man. We ain't talking about no regular man, no regular nigga, no KZ. You know, we talking about Yahawashi, man. He coming with big ships, man. You see these celebrity niggas be putting them in Bugattis and 24-inch rims and flying in private jet. How much more Yahawah or something than Most out, man? He pulling up with big bodies, man. Big body ships, man. Ships the size of planets, ships the size of continents, ships the size of countries, man. You know, it's gonna be a marvelous sight to see, man. You know, that's why the scripture saying Wisdom of Solomon 5, if anybody could hold it. You know how the heathen, they're gonna be amazed at the strangeness of the elect salvation, man. They're gonna look up and see the nuggets, and see brothers pulling up like, what the fuck, man? Like, oh, these niggas, that's their peoples. The angels coming to deliver them. You know, they had this movie. I think it was probably in the 70s. I don't know the name of it, but I seen clips of it. And it was so-called aliens that came to get black people, man. You know, I said, they told the government, you got to have a certain melanin percentage in your body. We coming to get them, man. You know, it shows you, man. Esau, he knows, man. He knows who the chariots, who's in those chariots. He knows they're angels, and he knows that they're coming here to save the elect of the nation of Israel.
I got you.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna bring this out from Apocrypha, revised. And it reads, it's Wisdom of Solomon 5. I'm gonna start at verse 1. Then the righteous will stand with great confidence in the presence of those who have oppressed them, and those who make.
Read the King James version. Let's read the King James version.
Read King James. Come.
Read the King James version.
I got it. So Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. And it says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors.
They made no account of our labors, man. Esau afflicted us, man. They put us in captivity. They don't give us credit for what we did for this place, man. We're literally the backbone of this society, man. You know, White House, we built that. You know, Wall Street, we built that. All these different companies, all these different banks, you know, that are opulent, they're in a position that they're in because they got their wealth and power to the backs of Israel, man. You know? So it says, in the face of such as afflicted him, and no account of his labors. Go ahead, bro.
It says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear.
Troubled with terrible fear, man. And it's not regular. It says terrible fear. They're gonna be literally shaking in it. What the fuck, man? Pissing themselves, shitting themselves, throwing up, catching heart attacks, man. You know? Terrible fear. Go ahead, bro.
It says, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation.
Yeah, they shall be amazed at the strangeness of the salvation of the elect, man. You know? It's gonna be a strange thing, man. Never has it been done. What chariots came and beamed up, you know, millions of people, man, worldwide. You know? Never, and that was never seen, man. The salvation that's coming, you know, it's not to be counted on. The deliverance of Egypt can't even be compared to it, man. You know, somebody get Jeremiah 16, you know, it can't even be compared, man. You know? They shall be amazed at the strength of the salvation, but they will be having their mouths open, like, what the fuck? Niggas in space going up. What about me? You know? What about me? You know?
So far beyond all that they look for.
Beyond all that they look for, man. They never expected niggas to have a good ending, man. You know, they always looking down on Jake. You know, niggas gonna get locked on. Niggas, you know, they always look down on Jake, man. They never expect us to be in a actual position of power, man. You know? So far beyond all that they look for, man. You know? Their mind can't even begin to imagine how the salvation is gonna look. That was it, right? What you got?
No, you said you wanted Jeremiah 16 or what?
Oh, now hold that. What you got?
First Thessalonians chapter 4, verse start at 16.
You didn't read it. No.
For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout.
Yeah, with a shout. The Lord himself shall come back with that war shout, man. When you see ancient movies, you see men going to war, they always shout, ah! You know, with a sword in hand. Well, guess what? Yahawah is coming to the scene, man. But he's doing it. He's gonna do it on a massive, gigantic scale, man. Yahawah's voice is gonna be heard worldwide. You know, every eye shall see him, and every ear shall hear him too, man. Yahawah's gonna hear that, man. You know,
with the voice of the archangel and with the trump of Yahawah, and the dead in Yahawah shall rise first.
And then Yahawah shall rise first. There's going to have martyrs that die for Yahawah, man. The scriptures go into how it's going to be certain brothers that get beheaded for the testimony of Yahawah. So those bucks, they're going to get risen up first, man. You know, they're going to get a first ticket to the chariots, man. You know, the dead in Yahawashi shall rise first.
Verse 17. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds. And then, read it again? Verse 17. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds.
Yeah, shall be caught up with them together in the clouds, man. So they're likely going to get beamed up. The clouds is not speaking about no big cloud come and just swoop you up. No, man. It's talking about the ships. And the gigantic ships beaming the elect up, man. What they call it, attraction.
To meet the Lord in the air.
To meet Yahawashi in the air.
And so shall we ever be with the Lord.
Yeah, so when Yahawashi comes to deliver his elect, man, the elect is going to be forever with Yahawashi, man. Because this is when the elect get beamed up, Yahawashi comes back, it's going to be the beginning of the kingdom of heaven, man. You know, even though it starts now, but it's going to physically start when Yahawashi beams the elect up, man. And so shall they ever be with the Lord, you know? So we're never going to get taken down, man. You're not going to have no uprisings in the kingdom where so look back, come with tanks and shit and take that. No, man. When we rule, when outside laws rule with those men, those free rule is going to be for eternity, man. And nobody's going to be able to stand up against us, man. Because we're going to be gods when outside comes back and delivers us, man.
Perfect. Perfect as well.
That's right.
You know, when I divorced that and that's what made us being able to be mortals, right? We're going to get our first state back, immortality, okay? With no other nations being able to conquer us, because we're going to be the conquerors.
Yeah, that was the only sole reason why we went down as a nation, for breaking the Heavenly Father's laws. If we never broke the Most High's laws, the Heavenly Father would have never rose up against us. So if we have those laws, statutes, and commandments in us, and the Heavenly Father is ever so pleased with us forever, there's not going to be no need for the Most High to raise up some goddamn heathen to take us down like that. This is Isaiah.
Verse 18, wherefore comfort one another with these words.
Yeah, that's how we get comforted. That's the word of Yahawashi.
Isaiah 42:13. The Lord shall go forth as a mighty man.
Yeah, Yahawashi shall go forth as a mighty man. Well, that's the mightiest man who ever created. The Most High, the Heavenly Father's going to God.
It says, He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yea, roar. He shall prevail against his enemy.
Yeah, Yahawashi is going to roar and prevail against his enemies, man. Yahawashi is known as what? The Lion of Judah. You know, the conquering line of the tribe of Judah, man. You know? So when he comes back, he's going to have that conquering shout, man. Ah! You know? Just taking over shit, man. You know?
It says, I have long time holding my peace. I have been still and refrained myself.
Yeah, because it's been over 2,000 years since Yahawashi, really did anything, man. He got beamed up and he never came back. He never came back for all those 2,000 years. So that Yahawashi said, well, I have a long time holding my peace. So see, Yahawashi has really been 2 days in the spirit realm, man. Those 2,000 years. But to us, it's a long time, man. Over 2,000 years.
Yep. It says, I have been still and refrained myself. Now will I cry like a travailing woman. I will destroy and devour at once.
Now will I cry like a travailing woman. When a woman is giving birth, she has that loud cry that she gives out, man. To give birth to that child, man.
Yell.
Yeah, it's a yell, man. Yell screams of pain, man. The outside said I would cry like a travailing woman. I would destroy and devour at once, man. It ain't gonna be. Yahawashi not coming like no other king to where he's gonna lay siege, and the siege is gonna take months or years, man. It's gonna be at once, man. It's gonna be telling you, America, Babylon the Great, being destroyed at 1 hour, man. I will destroy and devour at once, bro.
It says, I will make waste mountains and hills and dry up all the earth.
Make waste mountains and hills, man. These different governments, these different countries, the Lord Yahawashi is gonna make them waste and dry the earth, man. How is he gonna do that? First and foremost, he's gonna do that through the nuclear missiles, thermonuclear weapons, and ultimately through the laser beams coming from the ships and chariots.
It says, and I will make the river islands rivers islands, and I will dry up the pool.
Yep, that's right. So Yahawashah's going to dry up the pool, man. So what? When Yahushua comes back, it's going to be like a consuming fire, man. Like the Mosai, you know? So you're going to have different continents and countries that get melted through the fire. You're going to have the water, the different seas that's going to get dried up, you know? Because Yahushua, when he comes back, man, he's never going to reshape that whole earth, man. You know? With his whole energy, man. You know?
Revelation 1:7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him.
He comes with clouds, and every eye shall see him. So now that analogy I always like to use is the sun, you know, it can only be seen in one part of America at a time. You have the eastern hemisphere, and you got the western hemisphere. So the sun can only be seen in one part of America at a time. And the sun is huge. So it says here that every eye shall see him. So if every eye is going to be able to see him from both hemispheres, every house is going to have to be bigger than the earth. He's going to have to be bigger than the sun. You know? The house shot, man, when he comes back, man, he probably could hold the whole earth in his hands, man. Just grab the earth up, man. You know? That's how huge the house shot is going to be, man. He's going to be on a gigantic level, man. You know?
Behold, he come with clouds, and every eye shall see him.
Every eye, man. You know? Even the blind is going to see the house shot, man. You know? Niggas ain't seen nothing their whole lives, man. The house shot come back, they damn sure going to look up. You know? They going to feel that oil, and they going to look up and see the house shot.
And they also which pierced him.
Yeah, reincarnation, man. The ones that put the house shot on the cross, they're going to see the house shot as well, man. They're back in the flesh today. You know?
And all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him.
Yeah, so why would they wail? If he's coming from peace and love and to hug everybody, why would they wail? You know? Because he's coming back from war. You know? It's going to tell you the Lord is a man of war, man. You know? Yahawah is his name. So that's the attributes of the Most High. So that's the same attributes that the Son has, man. You know, Yahawah is a man of war. You know? Yahawah said, I come not to bring peace. I don't think I come to bring peace, nigga. I come to bring a sword, man. You know, what is a sword, man? An instrument of death, man. You know?
Even so, Aman. This is Isaiah 66:15. And it reads, for behold, the Lord, YAHAWASHI Yahushua, will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind.
Like a whirlwind, man, with fire. The missiles, the laser beams, and his chariots like a whirlwind, man. It's so-called flying saucers.
To render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire.
Yeah, so the Lord is angry, man. Why is he angry? Because first and foremost, you know, you saw with white people, you have the Heavenly Father's chosen people in captivity, man. You know? So the Lord will come back with fury, man.
God. This is Isaiah 66:15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire.
Rebuke with flames of fire, man. That's how Yahawah's coming to judge the world. You know, the first time, you know, was by the flood. That's how the world, you know, was rebuked. This time around is going to be by fire. Get Luke 17,
Let's start at 6. Second Ezra chapter 13, verse 6. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it.
Yeah, so Ezra, when he was seeing a chariot, he said it looked like a mountain, man. You know, that's the best description that he can give. You know, he said he had engraved himself on a great mountain and flew up upon it, man. You know, basically he was hovering on it.
Verse 7. But I would have seen the region or place where out the hill was graven, and I could not.
Yeah, so he couldn't see the end of it, man. He was looking up. He was trying to see what ended, man. He said, I couldn't see the end of it, man. I couldn't see what the ending of it, man. You know?
He started to look around, see where it was carved out. Yeah. It looked like a summit of a mountain, but he looked down like, well, all the mountain is still in place.
Yeah.
Where the hell did this mountain come from? Yeah. The whole time he was looking at the chariot.
Right.
Verse 8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight.
Yeah, so they're gonna be so afraid and yet there's fight, man. The space force that Esau has, these fighter jets, they're gonna be afraid, man. Whenever those pilots they encounter terrorists, man, they always in fear, man. You hear these different reportings of them calling bases, talking about, they see the terror, man. You always hear the fear in their voice, man. And this is just a small terrorist, man, compared to what Yahawah is bringing, man. They're gonna be so afraid, man. Imagine seeing the entity bigger than the whole earth, man. You look up in the sky, his whole body covered the whole sky, man. They're gonna be afraid, man. Any man in his right mind will be afraid of that, man. Looking like a grain of dust in comparison to Yahawah, man. They're gonna know that they're gonna know it. In the back of their minds, they're gonna know that they already lost the fight. But it's a pride in them. The Most High is gonna put the spirit on them to fight. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 9, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war.
Yes, Yahawah, he don't need no weapons, man. He don't need no missiles, he don't need no sword, he don't need no guns. He's gonna be chilling on the church, man. He's gonna be chilling on the ship, just traveling, man. He's gonna look at them, purity mortals, man. Just wipe their asses out. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 10, but only I saw that he sent out his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests.
Yeah, that's right. That's gonna be the laser beam, the gigantic laser beam coming from the father ship, from the gigantic chariot, man. It's not gonna be no little laser beams like they showed in the movies. They showed a skinny beam, man. It's gonna be a big beam, man. Yahawah's coming to bring a big beam, man, to wipe the armies out, man. Because if he's gonna wipe out all the armies of the earth at once, how big is that fire gonna be, man? The fire Yahawah is coming to bring, man, it's gonna be hotter than the fucking sun, man. Hotter than nuclear weapons, hotter than the sun, because those are actual spiritual fire, man. Concentrated heat.
Like Apostle Bar brought out the word. Go look up the word eviscerate. Those laser beams, your mind can't comprehend until you see people get turned to dust, just like the movie War of the Worlds. Yeah. That's how hot, like, it's just boom, zap. Verse 11, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of a innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid.
Right, so we're gonna have all these thousands of different military men on the fighter jets, the space forces, try to fight against Yahawah, but that one laser beam is gonna wipe them all out their butts. That reminds me of Star Wars, the Death Star. That one beam will destroy a whole planet, man. And this is Yahawah just being generous. What I'm saying? Wiping you out with one beam, man. Because if Yahawah wanted, he could wipe out the whole entire planet Earth. He's gonna send that beam out to wipe your armies out and take over the Earth, man.
It says, but only dust and smell of smoke. So everything is just a bit eviscerated. Yeah, just right. Nothing. Just like the missiles are gonna.
Finish.
Just like the missiles are gonna nothing's gonna be left. Nothing's gonna be left here. This place is gonna be a desert. The Middle East sandbox. In the Middle East, or World War III, you're not gonna see no tanks. You're not gonna see not even the skeleton of life. Everything's gonna be zapped.
Statue of Liberty is not gonna be like a little bit of arm of the Statue of Liberty or the head gonna be hanging out the sand. Everything gonna be left to it. Most likely gonna show you everything. Right. Bring it back to the elements.
That's 2 Ezra 16, verse 14. Behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth.
No, break it out.
The 2 Ezra 16, verse 14. Behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth.
Yeah, the plagues of sin, they shall not return again till they come upon the earth. You know, so the prophecies, they're not gonna backpedal. They're not gonna take a back step like, you know what? Nah, I'm tripping. You know, let me not break the famine, man. No, man, the prophecies are gonna happen, man. The famine, you know, the World War III, you know, the wars and rumors of wars, you know, all these different prophecies, man. The pestilences, you know, they're not gonna return again, man. You know, you got all these different Christians praying the plagues away, man. Praying to the Most High, He takes away all these different things that's coming up on the earth, man. No, man, it's not gonna backpedal. You know, they should not return again.
Why is that though? Break it down. Why it's not gonna come back?
Yeah, because one of the Heavenly Father is a far void, man. It's a prophecy. The Heavenly Father is not many, He should lie.
And what's the main plague?
Well, the main plague is gonna be the nuclear missiles, man.
Yeah.
You know, they should not return again, man. So what's that? The missiles get shot, they're not gonna come back, man. All the skirmishes you see happening, you know, between Russia and America and all these different nations, you know, got beef with each other. You know, it's not gonna calm down, man. It don't matter how many peace treaties you have. You know, oh, we're gonna have a meeting to where, oh, we're gonna stop whatever's going on in Ukraine. No, man, it's not gonna happen because prophecy says World War III is gonna happen. The third world coming quickly, man. You know,
That's
so there's
the
nothing
war.
man can do to stop it.
That's the war to end all wars.
That's right.
Somebody get that in Isaiah. Let they beat they swords to plowshares. No, Joel said let them beat they plowshares into swords. When you read in Isaiah, it said let them beat they say reverse backwards. Okay.
Yeah, man, because you know, the World War III that's coming, like the elder brother said, man, it's gonna be the war to end all wars, man. You know, after World War III, man, ain't gonna be no other wars going on throughout the earth, man. You know?
Yeah, this is Isaiah 2:4. And he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their
They
swords.
say he said judge among the nations. Now, what does Jehoshaphat mean? It means YAHAWASHI, the Most High judgment. Why? It says there we sit and judge the people during that Third World Battle. Go ahead. Because you read Joel, it says let them beat the plowshares to swords. So that's why these different nations they investing into their nuclear power for the art of combat. But after that's done, this is next. This is post-war. Go ahead.
And it reads,
Bring it out.
and he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares.
So this is post-destruction. So they should beat their swords into plowshares. Because it was already, this is post-destruction. So now they're going to slavery. So after destruction, the nations is going to be rounded up, and they're going to build up the kingdom. All right.
I got a quick precept.
Finish that, and then bring up the precept.
All right, this is back in Isaiah 2:4. It says, and he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into puny hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation.
Nation should not lift up sword against nation. Go ahead.
Neither shall they learn war anymore.
That's why it says the plague are sent and it shall not come back. Because this is the war to end all wars. And then after World War III, Israel is going to be in rulership of the whole planet Earth. And any other land and galaxy, planet, we're going to be in rule. And we're going to execute the laws of the Most High. Okay?
No, I got a quick piece of add-on to that. I was talking about the Valley of Jehoshaphat, which is YAHAWASHI, the Most High's judgment. All right, this is a prophecy that's currently being fulfilled right now. This is Revelations 16, verse 12. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. You know, and that's what's happening right now. The Valley of Jehoshaphat, all right, around the Euphrates rivers is actually drying up. This is a prophecy that's actually currently being fulfilled. Matter of fact, I have an article that just currently came into existence. This is it says Euphrates River is extremely drying up in Syria and Iraq. 2022. All right? So that's showing that's a prophecy that's being fulfilled. That's trailing into what the elder was going into. You know, this is why, what are the troops getting prepared for, like the scripture is talking about? The troops is getting prepared for war, okay? Because these idiots is going to go against each other, right? And ultimately, they're going to be bird food, man. You know, they're going to be gathered to be a feast for the fowls of the heaven, man. You know?
I'll go ahead. Yeah, start at
Jake don't have a clue what's going on, man. You know, these idiots going to actually try to go against the Lord, and the Lord is going to disintegrate you, man. He's going to annihilate your flesh, man. You know.
From Ezekiel 39:6, and I will send a fire on Magog and among them that dwell carelessly in the isles, and they shall know that I am the Lord Yahawah.
Yo, yeah, that fire's gonna be the nuclear missiles, man. You know, because Russia, they're gonna get hit too, man. Not only they gonna hit America, they gonna get hit too, man.
Right.
Because America, you know, man, it's going to all these different nations coming up against America, these European nations. Well, guess what? America got missiles too, man. Let's not forget that. So once they push their buttons, man, they're gonna hit Russia, they're gonna hit France, they're gonna hit Germany, and all the different nations that come up against them, man.
And it says, so will I make my holy name known in the midst of my people Israel, and I will not let them pollute my holy name anymore.
what does that mean? Meaning the Mosai, because part of the Mosai name being polluted is us being in captivity, being subject to the heathen, the heathen being in the land of Israel, polluting the name, polluting the land. So the Mosai is going to have to send a reverse on what's happening now. Go ahead.
And the heathen shall know that I am Yahawah, the Holy One of Israel.
But we're going to teach them. We're going to enforce the law on them. They're going to have to keep the Sabbath. You know, everything that the scriptures say to do. That's what scripture speaks about us being set up as kings and priests. Because we're not going to be priests to each other. We're going to be priests to the heathen. They're going to have to pay tributary tithes, you know, gifts onto us.
Behold, it is come, and it is done, saith the Lord power. This is the day whereof I have spoken. And they shall dwell in the cities of Israel, shall go forth, and shall set on fire and burn the weapons, both the shields and the bucklers, the bows and the arrows.
Wait, read that again.
And they shall dwell in the cities of Israel, shall go forth, and shall set on fire and burn the weapons, both the shields and the bucklers, the bows and the arrows.
So that means in the kingdom, there ain't going to be no guns. There's not going to be any rocket launchers. It's not going to be need for any weapons. Why? Because there's not going to be any more wars. Going back to the scripture the brother was reading, the place is sent and should not come back. Because that's World War III is the war to end all wars. You know? Go ahead.
It says the bows and the arrows and the hand staves and the spears, and they shall burn them with fire 7 years.
These are all weapons of war. So that's why we read what was that, Isaiah 2, and it says that to beat they swore to plowshares, because the nation's not going to be in war anymore. They're going to be in servitude.
I got it.
Get ready. We bring it out again.
Okay. Isaiah 2:3, and many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of Yahawah, to the house of the power of Jacob.
That's why I said bring it out again, because the Spirit have it, Joel, 2nd chapter now. Because let us go to the mountains of Israel, because this is post-war, post-destruction. So now after America is destroyed, it speaks about burning the weapons. You know, who's going to burn the weapons? I'm not going to be like, hey, y'all, what's up, America? Let's go, you take this side, I take this side. We're not going to be doing that. We're going to employ what's going to read. We're going to send the heathens to do that. But
it says, let us go up to the mountain of Yahawah, to the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths.
And that's going to be taught to us. That's why, we mentioned it's going to be, scripture say we're going to be kings and priests, and we're going to be priests to other nations. We're going to force them to keep the law. Because we're not going to be going off. You know, it's not going to be an Israelite that's going to have to make a sin offering or anything like that, because we're going to be all righteous.
Right. Okay. This is Zechariah 8:23. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, in those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of all of the nations, even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew, saying, we will go with you, for we have heard that God is with you.
So, this is Micah 4:2. And many nations shall come and say, come, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, and to the house of the power of Jacob. He will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For the Lord shall go forth of Zion, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. And he shall judge among many people.
So the word shall go forth. Read that again.
And many nations shall come and say, come, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, and to the house of the power of Jacob. And he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For the Lord shall go forth of Zion, and the word of the Lord
shall go forth out of Zion. So who's going to teach them? We are. Okay.
And he shall judge among many people.
That's why the Most High set it up that you was put into captivity. We read Romans the 8th chapter. The whole chapter is good. It covers everything. Why we in the circumstance we in today? Because like the late elder Yakov said in an old video, he said we had to learn both sides.
Right.
You know, before we enter the kingdom, we had to see. That's what we read in the scriptures talk about the fruit of good and evil.
Right.
You know, going back to Adam, because we had to. The reason why Adam went off is because we had to learn both sides. You know, that's the part that makes us as the angels in heaven. Because what good are you if you only know right and not knowing what happens when you break the law? Because now we're seeing what happens. What's the results of breaking the laws of the Most High? Right. So now, when the Most High does give us, or Most High does put us in position, we know how to execute the laws of the Most High correctly. Right. We know what happens when you break the law. We know what happens when you keep the law.
Okay. It says, and he shall judge among many people, and rebuke strong nations afar off, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks.
Read that again.
And he shall judge among many people, and rebuke strong nations afar off, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation.
So when is this? This post-destruction. Okay.
Neither shall they learn war anymore.
Neither shall they learn war anymore.
That's Isaiah chapter 2, verse 3. It says, and many people shall say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of Yahawah, to the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the Lord.
So the Lord's gonna come from who? Us. So we got to teach them the Lord, and we're gonna make them keep it. And the thing with them is they're not gonna have the bodies of incorruption like we gonna have. They're still gonna be going off.
They're gonna have the stony hearts.
Stony heart. Yep.
So it says, for out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of Yahawah from Jerusalem, and he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore.
What's the purpose of war? To take over territory, right? But we're gonna have control of the whole earth, right? So it's not gonna be a reason for them to go to war, because we're gonna own everything.
Right.
You got something else, right?
No, that was it.
Yeah, get to that.
Joel, was it 3?
I believe so. I'm thinking around like 9 or 8.
This is Joel 3:9. Proclaim ye best among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords.
Now we gotta rewind. So now this scripture says, "Be your plowshares into swords. Now, what are plowshares? Plowshares are tools that is used to cultivate the land, and swords are tools used for the act of war. So right now, the Most High is talking about, war. The Most High is setting up this, war. Like, get out there in the 13th chapter, the Most High wants the host of the battle. So it says, beat your plowshares to swords. So the Most High is stirring up war right now. That's why the nations are investing in their nuclear weapons.
So, Joel 3 and 9, proclaiming this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, that all the men of war draw near, let them come up, beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about.
Right. It says, gather yourself together round about. Now it says, let the weak say I'm strong, because what makes them strong is their nuclear weapons. Now they can defend off, any threat. But hold that.
It's Isaiah the 13th chapter in the 4th verse. It reads, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. Adawan Yahawah of hosts mustereth the host of the battle.
Like, look at that word mustereth. The word mustereth means to gather together. Like, you go to a job for the first day, and it might be orientation, and then they might walk you around the job site, and they might show you all the muster points on the job. In case of an emergency or natural disaster, they may say, you're going to meet right here. This is the muster point. So in case of emergency, we're going to gather here. Because the word muster means to gather. So the Lord said he mustereth the hosts, the armies, for what?
He mustereth, the Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle.
Like, he mustereth the host of the battle. A battle is a war. Now let's go back.
Back in Joel chapter 3, verse 10. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened.
Right, the mighty ones are the angels.
Yep.
Okay.
It says, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of YAHAWASHI. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the...
Go back.
Oh, it says, let the heathen be wakened. This is Joel 3:12. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of YAHAWASHI. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about.
Right, so that's the YAHAWASHI. The valley of decision. Go ahead.
It says, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the precious food, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes.
You read the sickle already? No?
Oh, yeah, let me read it again. This is Joel 3:13. Yeah. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you.
The harvest is the end of the world. They tell you that in Matthew 13th chapter. It said the end of the world is the harvest. So it said, put ye in the sickle. But that represents the angels, meaning most are going to send the angels to bring the destruction. Right?
It says, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down for the price.
Who the grapes? Esau. Okay.
Come, get you down.
When Yahawashi comes with the legion of angels, what Yahawashi is going to do is he's going to pluck them out like grapes out of their roots. That's the end of the world. Yahawashi come with the angels. Okay.
It says, come, get you down for the precious. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great.
Right, the fat overflowing. Meaning, like, let's say you had grapes, and then that grape reaches maturity. Now, if you're trying to make wine, you'll reach for the mature grapes. Those are the ones that's juicy. So that's represents Esau's rulership, meaning he's mature in his wickedness. Now it's ready for him. He's fat and juicy to go down to the wine press. That's why they say Isaiah 63 speaks about Yahawashi garment being, full with blood. Go ahead.
This is Revelation 14 and 19. And the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth and gathered the vine of the earth and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of the Most High.
That's what happened when Yahawashi returned to the angel. Let's go back.
Joel 3 and 13. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full.
Meaning they reached their full maturity of wickedness, because like in America, America is able to accomplish wickedness way greater than any other empire, because Sodom and Gomorrah was wicked, but they didn't have the ability to change a man's sexual, gender. They have the ability to give a woman testosterone therapy, and she start going facial hair, talking about she's a man. Go ahead.
It says, come, get you down, for the press is full. The vats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes in the valley of decision.
Right.
For the
The
day
valley of decision is the same as the valley of Jehoshaphat. Right?
For the day of the Lord, Yahawah BAHASHAM Yahawashi is near in the valley of decision. It says,
because before the nuclear missiles get launched, there's going to be a ground battle. We read the second chapter we're going to get. They're going to tell you, they give us the location of that battle. Go ahead.
It says, the sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. And the Lord, Yahawashi, shall roar out of Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem. And the heavens and the earth shall shake. But the Lord will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel.
Right, the heaven and earth are going to shake from the impact, from the designation of those missiles. You have something? All right, go ahead. Okay. Go ahead.
Haggai 2 and 6, for thus saith the Lord of hosts, yet once it is a little while, and I will shake the heavens and the earth and the sea and the dry land.
There you go.
Great earthquake that's spoken about in Revelation. And the book of Isaiah, the 24th chapter, man. It's going to be caused by the thermonuclear weapons, man. When they hit, it's going to literally rotate on the earth to and fro like a trumpet, man.
That's right.
Shake continents.
So into Isaiah, the 24th chapter.
It's the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3, verse 9. It says, therefore, I saith the Lord of hosts. Nope, that was not it. Zephaniah 3 and 8. Therefore, wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them my indignation, even all mine fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy.
That's right, you got it.
Oh, like the brothers was getting into, man. The Lord is preparing, all right, all these nations to be gathered into one place to so-called go to war with each other, right? Just so he could destroy all of them simultaneously, all right? So it says, for then, oh, that was it on that. This is Revelations chapter 14, verse 9. I'll read 8. And therefore followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, it is fallen, that great city, because she hath made the nation all.
Babylon, when you break down the word Babylon, you got the word Babel, which means confusion. You have the word Lon, which means land. So we combine those words together, it means land of confusion. Now, I've seen a video of a woman. She, I believe she was 37 years old, and she was saying she can't find a man. So her mother made a cloth doll, and she married the doll. And then she called herself saying that she was pregnant, that the doll didn't use protection, but she had sex with the doll, and she had a doll baby. Well, that's why this place called Babylon, because it's a place full of confusion. Yeah. it, like your brother said, you got mental illness. And the thing is, they're trying to normalize mental illness. You know, like once you start saying, a person starts again saying, I identify as the other gender, you know, that's a mental illness.
Yeah.
Because now, if a person identifies as a snake, and they actually have people like that, they get their eyes tatted, they get their teeth sharpened up, and they identify as they spit their tongue. And you know, people look at that and laugh like, oh, this person has issues. It's the same thing other way around.
What the world teaches you not to judge them. You got cat people, you got wolf people, vampires, right? Just stuff that you would laugh at or think you only seen in movies, but you got real people thinking that they're really these things. Yeah. So it says, because she made all the nations to drink the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Because they try to make the rest of the world believe in, right, the bullshit that these people in the society believe in, right? Not only through their lords, and not only through their customs, but the folly things that they're into, right? The brother said this place is a circus, right? So they'll go over there to those other nations and start pushing those agendas on them other nations. And just so those other nations could butter themselves up to America, they'll start following it. So it says, the same shall drink the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured without mixture into the cup of his indignation.
There you go.
Straight, the Most High is going to give this place straight, no chaser, destruction. He's not going to water it down. You know, it says which is poured without mixture. It ain't watered down. It ain't going to be no juice.
No cranberry juice.
No cranberry juice. No lemonade for the great destruction that the Lord has for this place. Right. So it says, and he shall be tormented, America, right, along with the other nations, with fire and with brimstone and the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Because all this is going to be happening in front of YAHAWASHI. Because it's going to happen when he returns.
Let's get to 12.
This is on the book of Joel 2,
3.
2 and 3, right? This is Joel. Yeah, this is on Joel 2, chapter 3. It says, a fire devoured before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the God. This is on Joel 2 and 3. It says, a fire devoured before them, and behind them a flame burneth.
That fire is the missile. It says a fire devoured before them. Okay.
And behind them a flame burneth.
And a flame burneth. Go ahead.
The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape.
Let's slow down. It says the land is at the Garden of Eden before them. Now the word Eden means paradise. So before the missiles get destroyed, they're gonna be, because it's considered Esau's paradise.
Yeah.
Everything's running, functioning as usual, and then boom. That's the fight. Read again.
It says that a fire devoured before them, and behind them a flame burneth.
Flame burneth.
The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them.
This could be considered the Garden of Eden to Esau. Right now, everything is paradise. People, it's 4th of July weekend. People are cooking out, shooting up fireworks, getting drunk, getting high. You know, they don't got to go to work Monday. So right now, this is the garden. This day paradise. Right?
And behind them, a desolate wilderness.
Desolate wilderness. That's the missile that get destroyed. It's gonna destroy everything. It's gonna be turned to a desert. Okay?
It says, yea, and nothing shall escape them. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run.
So now Joel seen this in a vision. He seen the missiles in the going through the sky, And he was like, yo, this look like an army of horsemen. That's how many he see, and it was in battle array, meaning it was formed like perfect.
This is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 4. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people. A tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle.
So you reference them as people. Okay.
This is back in Joel chapter 2, verse 4.
Yeah.
This is the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run. This represents the power that they're going to come with. They're going to be swift and powerful. It says, like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains, shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Before their face, the people shall be much pain. All faces shall gather blackness. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. They shall march every one of on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. Neither shall one thrust another, neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk everyone in his path, and they shall fall. And when they shall fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. It says, they shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses.
That's talking about the missiles. Okay.
They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. The earth shall quake before them. The heavens shall tremble.
Not on the land of unborn villages. Because, in ancient times, they built those walls. They built those walls to fortress the city. Like you have today, the Great Wall of China. But ancient time, that was common. Everybody had the Great Wall. It says David, he launched over a wall. He leaped over a wall. And that was common, back in ancient time, you had walls to fortress the city. So go ahead.
Ezekiel 38:11. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest.
That's over here in America. Now we'll make it a land of unwalled villages. Now it actually doesn't have walls, but it's talking about the defense. There's nothing that's going to fortify America from these missiles. They did tests on these missile repellents. It doesn't work. They realize it doesn't work. Why they have it there? It's because it's for Esau's, to make them sleep good at night.
Vain imagination.
Vain imagination. Yeah, but they would say pretty much how none of it is accurate, doesn't really work. Through the tests they ran, it's not accurate. So that's what Mosai reference this place as the land of unwalled villages. Okay. I think that's it on that. Go back.
This is back in Joel chapter 2, verse 10.
Most of all, the Mosai, his spirit gonna be in those missiles, guiding them. Right.
It says, the earth shall quake before them, the heavens shall tremble, the sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. And the Lord Yahawashi shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great, for he is strong that executeth his word, for the day of the Lord is great.
Yahawashi, he's coming with the army of angels. Okay.
For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible, and who can abide it? It says, therefore also now, saith the Lord, turn ye even to me with all your heart, and with fasting, and with weeping, and with mourning, and rend your heart and not your garments, and turn unto the Lord your power.
That what says, rend your heart, not your garments, meaning, because in ancient time when a person was undergoing sorrow or stress, they will, rent their garment, they will pull the hair out their head. So Scripture said, don't do that. What you do is you rent your mind, and you break apart everything that you picked up in this world. You make assessment. That's what you guys break apart. So that way you don't partake in the destruction we read it. Right?
It says,
What verse you want?
13.
Right.
It says, and rend your heart and not your garments, and turn unto the Lord your power, for he is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness, and repent of him of the evil.
I would say jump to 20.
Joel 2 and 20. But I will remove for off from you the northern army, and will drive.
See, the whole chapter is good, but we're trying to get to the point. So go to 20, right?
It says here, but I will remove for off from you the northern army.
The northern army, because we located in the northern hemisphere. So the Mossad, read again.
It says, Joel 2 and 20, but I will remove for off from you the northern army, and will drive them into a land barren and desolate. With
Right. Something that's barren, meaning something that's a wasteland, a desert. So keep in mind, it's talking about a desert. Okay?
And it says, and with his face toward the east sea, and his hinder part toward the utmost sea, and the snake shall come up.
Hold on. Look at the word barren. Look at the word barren. So, like, all right, this word barren, right? It says, English definition of land or country, and it says barren and desolate. Meaning, look at the word desolate now. A deserted, desolate is a place deserted of people and in a state of grief or the small emptiness. So it's represents a desert. Go back.
It says, but I will remove from you the northern army, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate, with his face toward the east sea, and his hinder part toward the utmost sea.
Right, his face toward the east sea. Now, east sea is reference toward the river Euphrates, and the utmost sea is reference toward the Red Sea. That's what that barrenness is. You know, like we type in the word fertile crescent or Mesopotamia. That area, what they call the fertile crescent, reason why it's fertile is because they have those two rivers running through that land. That's what's known as Mesopotamia. So meaning in between the two rivers, which is reference to the river Euphrates and the Tigris River. But those two rivers, it runs down, and then when it doesn't reach, everything else around it, borders around it, is a desert. That's over there in Saudi Arabia. We got it? This is what they call the cradle of civilization. I don't know if you can see that. You have here Mesopotamia. Now you have right here Mesopotamia. So you see right here, towards Mesopotamia area, that's the part that's fertile. And everything outside of that, it says towards the Red Sea. Now the Red Sea is over towards this way, and you have the East Sea with the river Euphrates. And drive him to land barren and desolate. That's right here, Saudi Arabia. Go ahead.
And it says, and his hand part toward the utmost sea, and his snake shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he hath done great things. It says, Joel 2 and 20, but I will remove far off from you the northern army, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate, with his face toward the east sea, and his hand part toward the utmost sea, and the snake shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up. Because
why does it say ill savor? Ill savor is talking about odor. So that's the odor from them dead bodies. And them dead bodies going to be from those soldiers that's going to be left behind
because he hath done great things. It says,
Those great things are great wicked things. Right?
it says, fear not, O land, be glad and rejoice, for the Lord will do great things.
Hold that. Get up Isaiah 14 and 19.
This is Isaiah 14 and 19. And it reads, but thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the remnant of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people, the seed of evildoers.
Right. So it says, thou shalt not be joined in burial, because those bodies that ain't come back, they're not going to be buried, nor even come back and get an American flag folded up in a triangle. It's going to be so much going on. It's going to have to be a draft. There's going to be a lot of bodies over there. They're going to send a whole flick of more bodies. You know, it's going to have to be a draft. That's how bad it's going to be.
This is Jeremiah 16:4. They shall die of grievous deaths. They shall not be lamented, neither shall they be buried, but they shall be as dung upon the face of the earth, and they shall be consumed by the sword and by famine, and their carcass shall be meat for the fowls of heaven and for the beasts of the earth.
Nah, get Revelation 19.
Revelations chapter 19, is that verse 9?
I believe so.
It says, and he said unto me, right, blessed are they which are called.
Somebody speak for a second.
So, I'm going to get Ezekiel 38, going into the bodies. Ezekiel chapter 39, verse start at 10. Matter of fact, verse 11. It says, and it shall come to pass in that day that I will give unto God a place there of graves in Israel, the valley of the passengers on the east of the sea, and they shall stop the noses of the passengers, and there shall they bury God and all his multitude, and they shall call it the valley of Hamon God.
That's why the Most High said in the book of Revelation, you're gonna drive from Euphrates. That's where the battle's gonna take place. So inside the Middle East.
It says in 7 months.
Because before there's a nuclear destruction, there's gonna be a ground battle.
It says in 7 months shall the house of Israel be burying of them, that they may cleanse the land. Yea, all the people of the land shall bury them, and there shall be to them a renown the day that I shall be glorified, said the Lord YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI.
That goes with Ezekiel 39, verse 9. That's correct. I'm about to say it goes with Ezekiel 39, but
Revelations chapter 19, verse 17.
now when it says us, we're gonna bury them, meaning we're gonna send us the free. We're gonna water to Egypt to do these things. Because we're not gonna be making ourselves unclean. We're gonna make the Egypt do it.
Ezekiel 39 and 14. And they shall sever out men of continual employment, passing through the land to bury with the passengers those that remain upon the face of the earth to cleanse it. After the end of 7 months shall they search.
There you go. Say that again.
I said a complete amount of time. 7 means completion. So
Right.
it could be more than 7 years.
Yeah. Right. There's gonna be a lot of bodies. There's gonna be a lot of bodies to pick up. Go ahead.
Revelations 19 and 17. And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great mountain, that ye may eat the flesh of kings, and the sit on.
So that's going to take place during this round battle. So there's going to be so many dead flesh laying around both sides. He's going to use these dead flesh to feed these scavengers of birds. So that's the great supper he's going to set for the scavengers. Okay?
And the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and of them that sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great.
Right, a lot of people, they're talking about joining the military. They don't want to go to college, so they're going to join the military. You know, but we come into a time, a lot of these people that joining the military, getting deployed, a lot of them not going to come back.
It's back in Ezekiel 39:17. And thou son of man, thus saith the Lord power, speak unto every feathered fowl and to every beast of the field. Assemble yourselves and come. Gather yourselves on every side to my sacrifice, and I do sacrifice for you, even a great sacrifice upon the mountains of Israel, that ye may eat flesh and drink blood. Ye shall eat the flesh of the mighty and drink the blood of the princes of the earth, of rams, of lambs, and of goats, of bullocks, all of them fatlings of Bashan, and ye shall eat fat till ye be full, and drink blood till ye be drunken of my sacrifice, which I have sacrificed for you. It says, thus ye shall be filled at my table with horses and chariots, with mighty men, and with all men of war, saith the Lord, YAHAWASHI shall power.
There you go.
It's Revelation chapter 9, verse 13. Verse 12. One woe is past, and behold, there cometh two woes more hereafter.
Now that's the First World War. You know, and it says it comes there two wars hereafter. That's World War II and World War III. They got over
It says, and the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the four horns of the golden altar, which is before the Most High, saying, the sixth angel, which has the trumpet, loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. Going into Revelation, the 14th chapter, right? The four angels that's holding back the four winds. That's going to destroy this place. Read it on. And the four angels were loose. Just like you watch any war movie, right? When the archers, they draw their arrows back, the commander yells loose, and they send them arrows flying. Right? So, and the four angels were loose, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year, for to slay the third part of men. There's three parts of men. The first part of men are the sons of the righteous, also known as the sons of God, which are YAHAWASHI, right? So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, all right, so-called. And then you got sons of men, right? That consists of the other nations. And then the third part of men, which is the sons of the wicked, which is Esau, Edom. So it says, and the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them, which when you count that number up is 200 million. All right. And it says, and thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire, and Jason.
That's not talking about the Chinese military.
Right.
It's talking about those missiles. And then the thing with the missiles, these missiles now have multiple warheads. You know, they have multiple warheads. So that's something you have to factor in too. You got like missiles. You have missiles with missile bombs within bombs.
And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire, and jacinth, and brimstone. And the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, like the brother was just going into. The head of the nuclear warhead, the head of the nuclear missile contains the warheads, right? Where's the power of the lion? In his mouth, in his jaw. Okay? So it says, and out of their mouths issue fire and smoke and brimstone. Right? That's where the power is. By these three were the third part of men killed. By these three were the third part of men killed by the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone which issue out of their mouths. All right? For their power is in their mouths and in their tails. For their tails were like unto serpents. You see any rocket or missile fly, and it moves in the shape of a serpent. All right? Because the back of the missile is the propeller. And the missile, like, basically moves in a serpent-like motion. Right? Because it's going against wind. Right? So the wind makes the missile move. So it says, for their power is in their mouth and their tails. For their tails is like unto serpents, and their heads, and with them they do hurt. And the rest of the men, which were not killed by these plagues, showing you that the nuclear missiles are considered to be plagues, right? And the rest of the men, which were not killed by these plagues, yet repented not of their works, which are the elites, right? Or whatever Edomites that doesn't get caught up in the destruction. It says they repented not of their works, of their hands, that they should not worship devils or in idols of gold and of silver and brass and stone and of wood, which neither can see nor hear nor walk. So they can continue doing their wickedness. Showing you that in the kingdom, you're going to have to make these nations keep the laws, right? So it says, neither repented they. So they didn't feel bad for the shit that they did during the time of slavery, right? They didn't feel sorry for all the wickedness that they pushed out on the planet Earth. They don't feel sorry for chipping the whole planet Earth, right? It says, neither repented they of their murders, right? Nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornication, nor of their thefts, right? That's why they're going to have to pay in the kingdom, man. That's why they're going to have to get ruled with a rod of iron. That's why a lot of nations are just going to get put to death because they didn't repent.
Second Ezra 16 and 33. The virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. Women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish.
And that's why the masses of these people are going to die. Like the brother quoted earlier, there's going to be a draft, a mandatory draft, because there's going to be so many troops dying over there in the Middle East, right? That they're going to have to, you got to go, man. We need people to fight, or this nation going to get taken over. Because even American allies is going to turn against America, right? The beast shall hate the whore, you know?
Revelation 13 and 13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth. It's Revelation 13 and 13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men.
Now, that's going into World War II. Now, why is World War II so significant in prophecy? Because now it's going to the time where America dropped 2 bombs. Batman played out.
And it says, and
But
deceive.
read on is going to the history of the beast, pretty much. Okay?
It says, and deceiving them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles.
Because America, well, Russia at that time was the USSR, United Socialist Soviet Republic. It was too strong for the United States, so America formed the alliance called NATO, and that's the beast being formed again, NATO and the EU. Okay?
It says, and deceiving them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do, and decided the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. It says,
But ancient Rome had a point where it looked like it was a collapse, but then it came back. Because right now we live in the revived Roman Empire. Right?
it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast.
That's how we know NATO and EU represents the beast, because the same members that made up ancient Rome is now comprised of NATO and EU. So it's ancient Rome coming back. That's why it says as beast was how you go?
It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, and that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Yeah, whoever did worship the image of the beast should be killed, right? If they don't conform to this new world order, right? If they don't conform to this Roman system all over again, they're going to be destroyed. And we know part of the image, which is the mark, right? Which is the charisma, right? No, we can't say it, right? But if any man take that charisma, if any man doesn't take the charisma,
Yeah.
the war should put you to death.
Right. Because you gotta keep in mind, America, along with NATO and the EU, that's all you Edomite nations. That's the mighty Esau nations. That's why, and America is the one that most of the time spearheads the moves with NATO and the EU.
Right.
So the Mossad, taking down America and the EU, he's taking down the whole Edomite structure.
And it says,
So read it again from the top.
it
So
says, 14.
start from
Okay, so Revelation 13 and 13, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven.
Now, look at that word, wonders. Got it in your phone.
The word there is Simeon, and it says, a sign, mark, token, that by which a person or a thing is distinguished from others.
What's the number for it?
G4591.
4591. Keep that in mind.
It says a sign, mark, token, that by which a person or a thing is distinguished from others or is known. A sign, prodigy.
That's good on there. So let's go back.
It says Revelation 13.
So the number is G4591, right? All right, go ahead.
It says that he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth.
Right, because America dropped those two bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. That was the first time the world was exposed to that sort of warfare. So it changed the game right there. And that opened up the concept of looking more at nuclear fission, looking more to nuclear technology. It was all to bring us to nuclear missiles. Right?
And deceiving them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles.
Now the word deceive there doesn't really mean to lie to somebody. The word there simply means to go astray, or to cause them to go to sin. Because when Esau came into power, Esau promotes sin. Right?
And it says, and deceiving them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do.
And deceiving them by the means of those miracles which he had power to do. Now look at the word miracles.
The word there is G4592.
It's the same
word
as wonder. Somebody look at the word miracle in etymology. read that part again.
It says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the
But
earth.
you know what? You know you gotta look at these words because people, you think of a miracle, you automatically think of something like a person pulling a rabbit out their pocket, or you take $1 bill and turn it to $100 bill. The word miracle just simply means wonder. You know, we understand the word. And you got the etymology. Right.
This is miracle, the etymology. It says a wondrous
That's it.
work.
That's
of
it.
the Most High.
It just means a wonder. So a miracle is a wonder. That's why I said before, it's a great wonder. Because the first time the world seen the atomic warfare, the whole world wondered, oh shit. I don't want no confrontation with America. And then Russia, they had the nuclear arms. Then you have Russia with their nuclear atomic bombs. And then you enter the Cold War. At that time, there was the two superpowers of the world, and they both had the atomic warfare. So every country there, Russia or the USSR and America. I think you were gonna say something.
That's a wonder.
Yeah.
It says a feeling of surprise mingled with admiration caused by something beautiful, unexpected, unfamiliar, or inexplicable.
Admiration.
Yeah.
You know, so they seen him like great admiration. That's a miracle. You know, that's what a lot of times you see when people see like a miracle, say a so-called magic act. They look at that, they call that a miracle. People looking at, they look at it admiration. Oh shit, how do you do that? So they was wondering, a miracle. Wondering how the fuck he do that? How the fuck he levitate? You wondering? That's what it's called a miracle. So go back.
It says, Revelation 13 and 14, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast.
Those wonders he had power to do in the sight of the beast. Go ahead.
Saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had
An image is talking about a structure. What is the government? That's when you read verse 12. Exercise the power of the first beast. That's the image. Because America format itself after the Roman Empire structure. It's like you read in Genesis, it speaks about the Most High let us make man, the Most High image. It's talking about the structures in the heavens. A lot of times you read about images, it's talking about the structure. You know, Genesis is talking about the image, the structure of the Most High. This image is talking about the structure of ancient Rome. It's talking about the structure of the government. That's what was created to let it be done as in earth. So we look to be in the image of the Lord. Okay? But Esau is in the image of Satan. He's in the image which Rome was in the image of Satan. So he formatted everything after ancient Rome. Okay,
this is quick precept, Psalm 73 and 20. It says, as a dream when one awaketh, so, O Lord, thou awakest, thou shalt despise their image. You know, the Hebrew word for image is 86754, and it's Zalom. And it says, image, heathen gods. It says, empty, semblance. It says, shape, a phantom, illusion, resemblance. Hence, a representative figure, especially an idol.
now it's actually talking about the actual images. Yeah. You know, the idols of images. You know, some images, they'll worship it. You know.
This new order is an actual.
They idolize it in ancient Rome.
Yep, that's right. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
That's an idol, man.
It's a resemblance of ancient Rome. Like Apostle Hall always going to, like, when you watch the Super Bowl, there's always that Roman numerals. Apostle always makes the point, like, go to the court system, a lot of the laws or law phrases is in Latin. You know? Let's go back to ancient Rome.
It says Revelation 13 and 14, and he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do you in the side
He
of the
broke down
beast.
the seed. The seed means make a person go astray or sick. Because he had the power. So with the power, like his Spider-Man, great power comes great responsibility. Instead of doing righteousness with that authority, he's causing everybody to go off. You have to accept the alphabet community. You know, you just have to accept everything that's wicked. You gotta accept, all this that's around us and everything you see on the TV. You gotta accept abortions. You gotta. That's what means deceiving the world. Because he try to make the whole world adopt this Western idea. You what?
Destroyer.
Says, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live.
Right. So that's Esau trying to form back that ancient Roman structure again. And he did. That's why I mentioned for the fire to come down from heaven. Because when we read, it's talking about this beast being formed. It's going to lead to the mark of the beast, which is the MOTB, which is the chip. Okay?
It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should go speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Right. Anybody that will conform, because they're going to make this MOTB or this chip, they're going to make it mandatory. And we don't know exactly how they're going to push it, but it's going to be pushed. They may use the pretense of terrorism. Or you're not prove that you're not a terrorist. Take the MOTB. So if you don't conform, they're gonna the penalty is gonna be the death sentence. Right?
It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor.
But let me say this: we, the ones that believe in YAHAWASHI, we're not gonna take it. Nah, man, that means death. So what? We understand that the Lord could raise us back up from the dead, or the Lord could give us superpowers.
And it says,
I know y'all watch strange things. He's had the little girl. She just doing things with her mind. But we're not gonna be catching nosebleeds after we do things. We're just gonna do it.
It says, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
You break that.
Going into the RFID chip. The main places they put it, the chip is your right hand and your forehead. Your right hand between your thumb and the index finger. Because that's one of the hottest places in your body. This area right here and your forehead. Which is why generates electricity or energy for that chip. That's one of the hottest places in your body, which is why it's the main area they're going to be putting them in. You got Elon Musk, talking about the what's it called? New brain chip. You got another company in the UK, which is competing with them. I forgot the name of it. We got the same thing going on. This chip is going into the and when you watch out these different videos about people that have those brain chips, they actually people that was paralyzed, they're able to walk again, people that was blind, they're able to see again, because the chip, it sends a different electromagnetic waves to their brains that allow them, to operate like a normal person. They're able to walk again, they're able to see again, so that's those wonders and those miracles, man. That's how he's so deceiving the world, because he's making it seem like it's a good thing for you. Look at it. It'll allow you to listen to music in your head. It'll allow you to talk to somebody else, without even actually moving your mouth. That's a miracle, man. That's how he deceived people, man. And it says,
I got something real quick. Proverbs 14:12.
There is a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death.
Ways of death, man. I remember like 2 years ago, this one Edomite came up to me in the gym. He was looking for his wallet. He got his wallet. And he was talking about, yeah, man, that's why I need a brain
by this agenda.
We're gonna close with that.
Yep. Verse 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. It says, it says, yeah, no man might buy or sell. You know, that's why you got these different central banks. You know, they actually invest into CBDCs, central banks of digital currencies, man. Because that's the whole agenda, man. It's to ship everybody up on the earth to enslavement. It says, here is wisdom. That's it. All right, so with that, we're going to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahawah.
BAHASHAM,
BAHASHAM. Peace and double honor to the elders of the gospel and truth. And all its purity and salutations to all your accomplishments in this word throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom, my Bible Lord. Shalom. Shalom.